So we're in the Mean-Eyed Cat, which is near the Haymarket, right in the city centre of Newcastle. This is Julie, who's the publican. So how long have you been here then, Julie?
We have been here 3 years past March, so we would have had our 3rd anniversary during lockdown, so we've lost nearly a year over 3 years.
You've basically been a start-up that's then hit the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. We have been in business before that. We had another pub in Gateshead before this one, but this was my husband saying I want to do a last hurrah. I want to do a pub in the centre of town, and I want it to be all about the beer.
Yeah. Which this is, you know, loads of niche beers from local microbreweries, really good for that sort of local economy, circular economy sort of stuff. What's your overwhelming feeling then of the past year, 15 months that we've had the pandemic?
It's just been hard to get through it, hard to manage it, and very disappointing not to be here with our customers all the time. But on the other side of that, it's been a horrendous time for most people, and we've got through it safely, and I hope that we'll run our business safely. Because we are what they call a micro pub, so it's all about the beer really, the craft beers, the real ales. The VAT reduction didn't help us. We sell a small amount of soft drinks, but nothing on food. So perhaps that could have been looked at a little bit more closely, because a lot of small entrepreneurial businesses in micropubs are the same as us. So the VAT and the Eat Out to Help Out help the restaurants and the pubs who are doing food. It didn't help the likes of us. And very good luck to those who it did help.
And so how did you find it? First lockdown, everybody, this is serious, we don't know what's going on, a bit of a shock. We rejigged a lot of the way we work a lot of time. But then, you know, July, cases are down, it's opening up. You must have thought, we're through this.
Yes.
But then you came to the second lockdowns.
And it was going through that tier system before that, wasn't it? So in Newcastle, I think it was the 18th of September when sort of restrictions sort of kicked in a little bit more, even before we closed down. So that was a difficult time. But during the period that we were open, all the staff came back. We did a little bit of thorough on some supervisory roles, but me and Dave had to do a lot more hours during that period, because even with the reduced capacity, the hours that our staff were working was back up to normal and beyond, because table service, checking in at the door, everything that goes with that.
Everything has to be sprayed, clean between customers, so fewer people, but there's more work.
More work to do. And I think just making sure that we were keeping everybody safe. So we always had someone sort of behind the bar, someone on the floor, someone at the door, just trying to make it safe for customers. And absolutely happy to do that. But it takes its toll a little bit.
It does, because you know it's not your original business model. Isn't table service and wiping things down.
However, we think even when things open again, we may stick to it, at least for a while, to see how it goes, because people seem to like it. But a lot of people also like to stand at the bar. They like to have a pint at the bar, and we don't know when that's going to come back.
Well, I guess it is quite nice, just thinking about it from a personal point of view, not having to stand in the queue at the bar. You need more staff, don't you? So you'd be looking forward to opening up in full, fingers crossed?
Yeah, absolutely. But again, it's a pandemic. We need to keep people safe. So we're not going to rush to change things. We're going to try steadily move forward, but not over capacity.
Are people enjoying it coming back in? The chance to actually sit and have a pint?
When we opened, the amount of people sitting I'm sitting outside. I've been sitting outside for the last few weeks, which is great, but it's been cold. So yes, people do have really enjoyed being inside. And we've had a couple of lovely reviews back to us on Monday and Tuesday already.
Sitting outside's great. But let's be honest, we live like 55 degrees north, don't we? With the same latitude as Moscow. And Geordies are tough, but you know, it still rains.
Monday afternoon was horrendous because the rain just came. So although we've now got a licence of Newcastle to use our outside space at the back, It didn't get used very much on Monday, but yesterday was glorious. So it was lovely.
Yeah. And I know all the local authorities have been trying to do what they can to help, because previously licenses, well, you must be indoor, etc., etc. Everybody's trying to think, well, how do we keep this, supporting businesses, to be honest, supporting all the people, because we all want to live our lives. And they were going to give us a 67% furlough instead of an 80% furlough for the north. But we got there.
Absolutely.
Standing up for our people.
No, and it has worked out for us as a business, and I'm sure it's worked out for many businesses. But there are those that are not going to open again. There's plenty of businesses out there that are closing.
Yeah.
But let's hope that lots of small ones go.
Well, we're developing as North Tyne, working with the local authorities, recovery and innovation deal. That's 10 million quid to support all kinds of businesses, hospitality included in that. Some things to make not just city centre but across the region, town centres, high streets, have a bit more vibe about them. We've got direct vouchers that we go to businesses who adapt for COVID, but coming up with new ideas, new business models. I'm not even going to try and guess what they are, because it's not my job. It's like people like you who come up with we'll do our business in this way, but we just need a little bit of money to get it over. So that's the sort of stuff that we're trying to do as well.